Hello chess fans, fans of the beautiful game. This is Chess to Impress. This video is about Magnus Carlsen, but not the world champion and the Grandmaster Magnus Carlsen. This is about the international master Magnus Carlsen, 13 years old. It is the 19th of February 2004. Carlsen had just made his first Grandmaster norm in the Chorus tournament in the Netherlands. And there he was invited to take part a few weeks later in the Aeroflot tournament in Moscow. He accepted the invitation, went there, and in the third round he played a former World Championship candidate, Sergei Dolmatov. It was Carlsen's highest ranked opponent up till then in his career, and he was white, and after 19 moves Dolmatov resigned, and this is the game I want to show you today. 13-year-old Magnus Carlsen played one knight f3 and Dolmatov played f7, f5, an invitation to the Dutch game. And here Carlsen played d3, which looks like a modest move, but in fact it's an effective reaction to Black's first move. White is preparing the move e2, e4, and is arguing that Black's first move is a weakening move, weakening the king side. It's a move that was championed by international master Jeroen Bos in his Secrets of Opening Surprises books. Dolmatov played d6, and there comes e2, e4. e7, e5 is the normal reaction. Carlsen develops his knight, and so does Dolmatov. And here Carlsen takes on f5. Bishop takes f5 and d4. Dolmatov took, and after knight takes, e takes, queen takes d4. White is slightly better, but there's not much going on yet. Knight f6, and here Carlsen improved on a game from Romanishin, which went bishop d3, and after bishop takes d3, queen takes d3, c6, castles, and bishop e7, the game was even and not much was happening. But Carlsen did not play bishop d3, he played bishop c4, and it's not very wise for Black now to take the pawn on c2, which is unprotected, because after castling, White has a clear advantage. Black's king is in the center, he's not fully developed yet, and that is more than enough compensation for White for the pawn he lost. White is actually much better here. So Dolmatov didn't take the pawn, he just kept developing his position, played c6, bishop g5, and now Dolmatov could have played d5, but then long castling is a good move because d takes c4, winning a piece, is answered by queen e5 check, check, attacking the queen and attacking the bishop on f5. And after queen e7, queen takes f5, White is winning. So d5 was not a good move, and another move that Black could have played here is queen e7 check, taking the castling rights away from the king, but after king f1, White is also better. He's threatening rook e1, and after long castling he can take on a7 and has a dangerous initiative. Dolmatov had seen all that, most likely, and he played b5. Kicking the bishop, bishop b3, and now bishop e7, trying to finish his development. Carlsen played long castling, and queen d7, rook he1. All white's pieces are centralized, all pieces are doing something, and the big problem for black is that his king is still in the center, and he cannot castle kingside because of the bishop on b3, and castling queenside is also tricky because the pawns are not protecting the king enough there. Dolmatov played king d8, trying to find shelter for his king on c7, but here Carlsen already saw a winning combination. He played rook takes e7, sacrificing an exchange, which is a very strong move. It has to be taken, and then queen f4, attacking the bishop, so threatening to win a piece back. Bishop d7, and knight e4, another strong move. b5 to try and stop the attack, but another power move from Carlsen. Knight takes f6. There's lots of threats in the position. Of course, the knight cannot be taken because of bishop takes f6, winning the queen. So Dolmatov tried h6 instead of taking the piece back. Bishop h4 and then g5, and it looks like black might get out of it. He's forking two pieces and the knight is also under attack still. But after queen d4, Dolmatov already resigned. The computer gives an advantage of +4 for white, so it's already that bad with the black position. Let's see why he resigned. If he takes on on h4, then there is the very strong move knight takes d5. The rook is hanging in the corner, the queen is hanging. For example, c takes d5, queen takes h8 check, queen e8, queen takes h6, and white is already 2 pawns up, but also the attack against the black king is ongoing. The black king is very unhappy on d8. Another option after knight takes d5, instead of taking the piece back, is queen f8, protecting the rook. But then there's knight b6, a very strong move, threatening to win a rook on a8, but also threatening checkmate on d7. And that's too much for black to cope with. So g takes h4 is not an option here. He could have played rook f8, but then there's simply knight takes d7, queen takes d7, and saving the bishop with bishop g3. White is material up, he has 2 bishops for the rook, and still his king is in the middle of the board, and this is an overwhelming position for white. Over 4 points up for white according to the computer. So Dolmatov had enough after queen takes d4, and as I said, this was the highest profile win for Magnus Carlsen, international master, 13-year-old Magnus Carlsen. It only took 2 more months before he got the Grandmaster title, and then he went from strength to strength. Hope you enjoyed this video about one of the first steps in Carlsen's rise to the top. An important step this was for him. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. This is Chess to Impress. Thank you for watching.